Today I went for the sun-kissed look again. This time I used different products that weren't quite so harsh on aging, wrinkly, textured skin. Used a little bit different base, a little bit of different color, and I also went in with a smoky eye. So this is my day at the beach look version 0.2. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to your comments. The last time I went for the sun-kissed look, the day at the beach look, I used a contour palette. I used my e.l.f. contour palette, the cream contour, the darker shades, and it worked really well to give me sort of the tan look, but it was too thick and it was settling in areas I did not want it to settle. So the only thing I am doing as far as a base right now is I'm using this CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, and I've done a little bit of contour. Otherwise, I am going to go for the tan portion with my e.l.f. This is their liquid camo blush, and it is in the shade Bronze Bombshell. I'm going to use this to cover my face and get sort of a tan in order to get the red sunburned, sun-kissed look. I used the closest thing to a red satin lipstick I could find. I don't have one. I had to borrow my daughter-in-law's. So this time we are going to go in. This is actually a matte lip color by Revlon, and this is not exactly red, but we're going to experiment with this and see how this works. I have not tried this yet, so let's see. And when I finish up this little gig, I'm gonna do a smoky eye to complement it. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this e.l.f. liquid camo blush in the Bronze Bombshell, and I am going to put some in the palm of my hand, like so. This is very pigmented, so like I said, this is going to be a little bit of an experiment. Then I'm taking a dense foundation brush. This is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and I'm just going to smoosh it around a little bit. I decided that if I colored my face with blush versus a cream product, then probably would have less chance of it looking absolutely cakey. All right. Whoo. What's going to happen? Whew. This is going to be a lot, so yow. Okay. I'm literally covering my face. Covering my face, my whole face with this to get that beach bronze. So this is just a little bit of an improvise. Hopefully, you know, I'm not a big fan of having a lot of stuff on my nose, if I'm being honest, but we are going to try to work with it. I got to put it on my eyelids. So that definitely gives a more tan coverage, and it's not as heavy. So let's trust the process. So gotta get it everywhere. Cover, cover, cover it everywhere. Oh boy. So what I'm finding is if I don't cover my whole area, I have like these white patchy areas they stick out like a sore thumb. Still better than sitting in the sun for hours and ruining your skin, ladies. All right. Ooh, doggy. This is super fun. I do enjoy doing this. It is fun. All right. We got the tan look going. All right, now we're gonna go for this now. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay, because this is intense. I'm not sure what shade this is. I can't see it without my glasses. So, okay. So if you remember, if you've seen the other one, I will link it below, by the way. If you've seen the other one, you really kind of go crazy with it. You just put it everywhere where the sun would hit forehead. Okay, I'm a little bit more conservative this time than I was last time. Just ended up having to sort of tone it down anyway. So let's see how this goes. I'm using the same brush I did with the, I'm using the same brush I did for the bronzer. Now, this is not red, so it looks slightly different, but I can see why it's best to use the red instead of the sort of the plum, but it still looks very colorful to say the least. What do I think? I'm not sure. I do not think it's awful. I think I prefer the red. I really wish I had a more red instead of berry color. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can try something else. Hold on a minute. All right, I just found a reddish lip color. It's a Kat Von D. Cannot see what the actual shade is, but I will put it in the description. It's too little. I can't see it without my glasses. Sad. Anyway, all right, so this is a little bit more of a rust color, so I'm gonna just not go hog wild, but I'm just gonna improvise a little and see if I can get more of that same effect I had last time. I said I wasn't gonna go hog wild, and I pretty much just did, didn't I? Gonna use the same brush. Now, my daughter loves, I just took this from my daughter's stash. Hi, Esme, if you're watching. She loves to use long wearing. So I have to go in and, woo, doggy. Okay, that did it. That did it. She likes to use long wearing lipsticks, so I have to go in quite quickly. Yeah, that definitely did it. Would I go walking out in public looking like this, just, you know, on a regular day? I'm not sure. But it definitely looks like I've been in the sun, for sure. My sister's in Hawaii right now. She just sent me her beach pic in her hot pink bikini top. I'm not at all jealous. I thought it might be time for me to pretend like I'm in Waikiki, so here we go. All right. Wow. Well, that did it, didn't it? So it looks a little bit, you know, wow. Maybe when I get my eye going, it won't be quite so, oh, I gotta put this on my eyes too. It won't be, maybe it won't stick out quite so much like a sore thumb. I'm not sure. This is fun though. I really do enjoy it. All right. There's the face. And I gotta make sure that my neck doesn't not match too much, but that would be round 2. Actually, you guys, I don't hate it. I mean, it's extreme. It's not something that I'm used to, but you know, I don't hate it. I'm gonna go in and start in with my smoky eye. I don't want to have to go in and clean up a bunch of fallout, so I'm going for some pretty trusty, tried and true eyeshadow palettes today. This is an independent brand, KAB Cosmetics. You can find it on, I think you can Amazon it, or you can just Google it and find it. I find this to be a very reliable palette. It has great color payout and very little fallout. So when I'm going for the smoky eye, that's important because I don't like cleaning it up. I'm going to start out with this BS Small. This is the Mini Flame eyeshadow brush. And I am going to go in with this dark brown color here. This is called Cocoa. And I'm going to apply it all over my bottom lid. I can't find my favorite eyeshadow brush right now that I use to get into the little nooks and crannies there. I don't know where it is. This one will just have to do. The other one that I have is more, it's my Urban Decay dual end. It's got a smaller, more dense end where I can get into like the little areas here where I don't. Or I can't reach with a bigger brush. All right, let's just pack that in as much as I can. Just pack it, pack it. I have really become a fan of doing a smoky eye. I really enjoy smoky eye, even if I have to clean it up a little bit. I like the dramatic look about it. It just looks neat. Neat. It looks neat. All right, this is where I really need a smaller brush. All right, I picked up my Farmasi Crease brush, and I'm going to use that to just sort of move things around a little bit where it got kind of out of hand. But I'm still going to use it to bring in a different shade there so that it's not all one shade. So here we are, it's August. Can you guys believe it? It's August. Already. We are almost to the end of 2024. That is just crazy to me how fast. It seems like the older I get, and I know I'm not the only one to say this, it seems like the older I get, the faster time just flies by. It's just crazy. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this shade here called Sand, quite a bit less pigmented, and then I will go up here and sort of bring in a transition. I hope my microphone that I'm using is working okay. I can't tell till I get finish and I go to edit and I can hear how I sound, but there's a fan going on in here and it really makes a windy noise if I don't have a good microphone. So if that's what's happening, I am so sorry. The more I do these smoky eyes, it feels like the more confident I get, the less careful I am. You know, like I can kind of whip through it a little bit faster than I used to. I'm not as conservative or concerned about it as much. Also because I can just clean it off, but it just feels like I'm getting a little bit better at it. But there's always something that needs to be cleaned up, that's for sure. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good summer. I know in a lot of parts of the country it's been just horrible as far as heat, flooding in some places, just crazy weather patterns. Where I am here in the Pacific Northwest, it's been pretty mild. This summer we haven't really had too much in terms of unbearable heat, but I've spent the last couple of years in Florida, so it's probably more tolerable to me than it might be to the average person who thinks it's so hot. I mean, you know, 88 degrees is pretty warm, but it's not, boy, it could be worse. I do know this for a fact. Okay. How even do we have that? It's hard for me to see. I'm having a tough time seeing. I'm going to go in with a lighter shade. This is called Naked, and I'm just going to use this to soften it up a little bit. So I like this so far. Oh, I don't want to get too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Metal Mania. This is the darkest shade that I have. This is called Heavy. So I will use this as a liner. I'm going to use this Zoeva. This is the 322 liner, and it works great. Someone gave it to me, and I really like it a lot. So I'm going to go in here. I always have a hard time with my left eye. It's just harder for me to get it on there because, first of all, of my vision in my right eye with my contact lens, it doesn't do very well close up. And reaching over with my right hand, I'm not as skilled, so sometimes I'll go with my left hand and see if I can get it. Now I'm going to take just a clean, fluffy brush. This is actually a concealer brush from BS Mall, but it's clean. And I'm going to go in there and just sort of blend a little bit. Move it around. Seems like there's more, this one's got a heavier side than this, but it's not that noticeable. Now what I like to do is I like to take this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer pen and bring it up the sides. Gives my eye a little bit of a lift. And I take a damp beauty sponge, which this is an e.l.f. beauty sponge, and just sort of blend it in there a little bit. I got some new mascara. This was gifted to me. This is the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions. The last time I used it, I looked at my video and I thought, oh, probably could have done a little better job. I'm gonna try it again today. What I like about this though is that it doesn't flake, and it is water resistant, but it is not hard to remove. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this today. I have a couple different mascaras that I like to use, that I like the way they perform better. The e.l.f. Lash Extender, and also my Essence Princess Lash False Effect. Those are really good drugstore brands. They give me more lift and more volume than this does, but they do tend to flake a little bit. but they are very inexpensive. But for being so inexpensive, they perform pretty well. But I like the idea that this one is not going to be, later on I'll be picking flakes up off under my eyes. With a smoky eye, you pile on the mascara. What do you think? Is that smoky enough? You think it is? So I think what I've discovered through this is that I can use just a little bit of some kind of a base instead of using a bunch of foundation, which never ever works out well, and just use these liquid blushes. You know, the color that I basically go in, cover my face a little bit just to, do some color correcting, and then just use these liquid blushes to get the effect that I would normally think I'm getting with a bunch of foundation, powder, and blush. So, because, the blush, it's liquid blush, it's not going to sit in your lines and wrinkles. So that is something that I have discovered, sort of like a side note, that makes me really happy. That'll probably be the norm, not the exception. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of my NYX Butter Gloss. This is in the shade Madeleine. And just give myself a little summery lip there. There you go. It feels like I've got a little bit of a 60s look going on here with the hair and the eye. I don't know. I need my bangs cut though. If you've enjoyed the content today, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe even add a thumbs up. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next time.